Welcome back to the Cinema Sessions. My name is Keith, and as always, enjoy my
viral sensation. Let's try that.
Welcome back to the Cinema Sessions. My name is Keith, and as always, enjoying by the man with the golden gun.
Seamus, hello guys.
Who works in the B&Q in Newton Abbey.
Not Newton Abbott, which is in mainland UK. This is Northern Ireland. Yeah.
There was a bit of confusion about that on the TikTok.
Yeah, some people
on the TikTok. Who do I think I am? Like
that happened like with 3 people, but like some people, and then there was 1 or 2 of them where they're like, no, actually, this is it. And then there's one guy's like, shows what you know, like, shows your ignorance, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
There's a few incendiary people on commenting on that as well. Like usually the ones with the Union Jackson.
Yeah, they can get a bit riled up.
Like,
there was 1 or 2 tricolours, I think.
100%. Yeah. You have to be proud of your heritage. Like,
well, that's true. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
That brand of terrorism is fine.
We can agree on that. Yeah.
So today we're diving into Enemy of the State, Tony Scott's slick, paranoid 90s thriller where Will Smith accidentally becomes public enemy number 1. Gene Hackman looks suspiciously like he never recovered from the conversation, and every satellite camera and phone call feels like it's watching you. We're talking conspiracy thrillers, surveillance paranoia, peak late 90s action cinema, and whether this film accidentally predicted the future. This is the Cinema Sessions, a Dubliner's Guide to Cinema. I'm trying to get that in one
take wonder, yeah. Fair fucks, man. Yeah, there we go.
Do you know what it is? So it's because I'm not just putting out what ChatGPT gives back to me. Like, do you get me? I'm actually changing it into my, because I'm reading it and it's not how I say things. Like, do you know what I mean? So I've just changed the ends of sentences and stuff and that type of shit. Like,
that was
it's working out well so far. We'll see how it goes
smooth.
now.
Sound off in the comments, guys.
Yeah, let me know.
Open monologue there. Yeah. Yeah, this was.
It's just a massive film.
Yeah, it's funny when you said there. It's a slick 90s thriller. I remember watching this, on VHS, and it was so state of the art at the time. And some students of mine had an interesting perspective on that we'll maybe go into. But instead of waiting 10 minutes in like I usually do, I'll do my opening thing now. Yeah. Enemy of the State is a political action thriller from 1998, directed by Tony Scott, the late great Tony Scott, and written by David Marconi, starring Will Smith, Gene Hackman, John Voight, Lisa Bonet, and Regina King. The film follows Robert Clayton Dean, a Labour lawyer who becomes the target of a rogue NSA operation after he unknowingly comes into possession of evidence tied to a politically motivated murder. With the help of former intelligence operative Brill, Dean is drawn into a dangerous struggle to evade surveillance, expose the conspiracy, and clear his name. Film has a 7.3 rating on IMDb, a Metacritic critic score of 67, and a user score of 7.2. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a critic score of 71% and an audience score of 78%. It grossed approximately $250.8 million worldwide against a budget of around $85 million. And on a personal note, folks, if you find this film far-fetched, well, there's certain videos of me floating around that I'd orchestrate a mass killing to get back.
Hashtag make Israel great again.
Yeah, they're all my political diatribes. There's nothing to do with my seedy personal life or anything.
It's hashtag Effie Jepstein.
Yeah. I saw a great meme recently. I like these ones where it's just it's like not Patrick Bateman, but like people like him, and it was like you want me to send an email like Jeffrey Epstein?
It's amazing how tainted the technology can become just when it's attached
just
to
by one person. Yeah. I did.
But it's mad to think though. Like, geez, not to start off on an absolute digression, but fuck it. Like back when they were sending those emails, like, do you know what I mean? They thought they were king shit. Like none of the minions have this yet. Like, do you know what I mean? This was like cutting edge technology.
That was like early 2000s.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. Like they never thought in a million years that anybody would be reading these things.
No, it's funny. Well, the Corson as well, who picks up because I mentioned this guy earlier off camera, but a friend of mine who's definitely got some issues with like connecting reality and the dots and all this.
Schizophrenic.
Yeah, I said this is ages ago, but I said, well, I have a connection of a guy in Belgium, and he wants to do these videos with a QR code. If you guys would be interested, he was Belgium. like videos, like so, like what, like fucking like kiddie porn or something. And I was like, and this was like 18 years ago, and I was like, okay, you're referencing the Joseph Fritzl case, which was in Austria and had no pornographic element whatsoever. And you're making me out to be like some kind of a sex pervert. But in that logic, yeah, I guess it's the worst thing that you could possibly do with your time. Like, you never know where fucking people come up with this stuff. So,
but it is important because I don't think that's too much of a fucking detachment from what we're about to discuss. Enemy of the state, because this is like internet paranoia before social media, before all these things.
It is weirdly prescient and then also naive.
I think it's very prophetic. Do you know what I mean? At times, while agreeing with you that it can be naive at times.
Yeah, well, the naivety just comes from, oh, this hasn't happened yet and maybe it never will. And then 9/11 happened and it fucking happened overnight. Like the Patriot Act is as bad as Anton.
And that they're doing in this film. And they all voted for it. Like, they didn't have to do any skullduggery. Like,
well, in the film's defense, they do have that. I didn't know if the character was as well, so he seems to be a senator or something. He's kind of the main mouthpiece for it. Yeah. And he does just say like legitimate. Now he's never actually set up as villainous. He is cheating on his wife and all this. But
I think, but at this time, was the assumption not just that the politician is shady, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this was all very kind of naive 90s kind of stuff. Like Clinton was still in the White House, so there was still kind of this sense of, now I know fucking, what do you call them? Gen Zers, oh, he was fucking corrupt. Yes, but at the time
he was the best. He was arguably
he seemed okay, and
he got shit done. Like,
like,
and then got some head.
Can you imagine making a character like the president in Independence Day today? It'd be laughed off the fucking screen.
Yeah, or Air Force One, or fucking,
Jesus. That's why they were all made. And the American president, which people forget, the Michael Douglas one, where he's in love with Annette Bening. Did you ever see that?
I don't think so. No,
they wouldn't. That was a.
But there was a few. That was a big 90s thing. Wasn't
pure
it? Like,
Clinton era.
What was that one? Dave.
I was just about to say Dave.
That's John Travolta.
Yeah, that's because everyone in Hollywood.
And he's playing Bill Clinton.
Oh, that's Primary Colours you're thinking of.
Okay. Dave is Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline, yeah. Yeah. No, they're all Clinton era, and like and I'm not knocking them. I will eventually, but like everyone in Hollywood liked Bill Clinton, and there was but I remember here being like, oh yeah, I get these films, like I get this, because Clinton was. It
all comes back around because we opened with Jeffrey Epstein, and now we're on the Bill Clinton.
Now we're on the Bill. I still, and I know everything he's been up to. I still, when I watch news footage of him in Northern Ireland, I'm like, all right, yeah, he's okay, yeah, because he really was.
I remember
helpful there.
I remember seeing like
sound off in the comments about how wrong I am, but the public perception was he helped with the peace process.
Yeah, so did Tony Blair, and we don't like him. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, no, okay, yeah. there was something lingering in the back of my brain that I was like, he's kind of okay. And he was. Do you know what I thought? Because Hugh Grant was basically doing him in Love Actually.
Yeah.
So I was like,
and Hugh Grant was okay.
He's grand, isn't he? Fuck me. Anyway, this film when it came out, I remember how slick it was, and I actually because I was doing a class on kind of a related topic, so I showed it to them. And when I tell you, they did like the film now overall. These would be kind of people in their 20s, mainly from Latin America, but you know, they would be very plugged into like what the film was talking about. There were bits where they were just kind of scoffing at it, and it was all the stuff that was so hip at the time, the real quick cutting and the like and the CGI of the satellites and all this, which at the time was like fuck yeah.
You can pick it. You can pick a film, and there's a CGI thing of a satellite like from around this time, especially the late 90s, mid to late 90s. Like,
well, the cutting of it and all this, they didn't find something that I didn't find it funny now, but I thought all the young fellas with the kind of the set green and all this in the vans, I look back on that and I'm like, that's so late 90s. They didn't laugh at that. But Anton, like...
Because, I mean, I think the assumption is still there that the geeks still look like that. Like,
I actually found that weird. Now, the fashions have dated a bit, but that is still like these fucking, you know, on the spectrum people drinking too much Red Bull, fucking, watching everything you do, and you're like...
Using blenders.
It's kind of right, nicking your blender and all this. So... You can see here beside us, so I've the French DVD for some reason, and I've the Japanese Laserdisc. In Japan, it's called Enemy of America. Actually, funny enough.
Okay. Yeah.
But I watched it on my 4K with the DVD, which was I think it actually looks fine. But I watched it. It was great watching it with the Laserdisc because I watched that. Anyone who follows me on Instagram knows I have a CRT television, and it looked like obviously not like a 4K, but it looked very sharp, and it was great seeing it like, because that would have been the height of technology basically when it was released.
Yeah.
Well, there would have been DVD. And I was like, the film just made a lot more sense for someone my age. And I was like, geez, I remember when this was state of the art. And it still like is brilliant. Tony Scott was a great craftsman.
Yeah,
He
like Tony
was
Scott,
great.
like I think he does get a bit of, I don't think he gets the respect maybe that he deserves, because he, like some of his stuff kind of, I don't know how to put it, like Unstoppable, that train movie with Chris Pine.
Yeah,
like,
I always thought I was really disappointed with Domino, the Keira Knightley thing, because I was like, sorry, he's just gone off the fucking rails here. But
he had some great stuff. Like I thought to take him Pelham 1 3, it's not as good as the original. But
yeah, I thought
it's
that was
very
grand,
good.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but Deja Vu was great.
yeah, actually, I forget what the other one around the time of Domino was. I think he had another one that I was like, I could do without that. Domino now, he was trying something. He wasn't just sitting on his fucking arse, like collecting a paycheck with that one. But I was like, he's gone too far. But he had a great run in the 90s. The only one that, and a friend of mine who might be listening will be rolling his eyes, but the only one that I think was not that great was called The Fan with Robert De Niro.
Oh,
But
yeah,
he had True
Wesley
Romance.
Snipes.
Yeah, with the baseball kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
He had
Jesus,
True
it's been years since I've seen
Romance, Crimson Tide, this Last Boy Scout, which I fucking adore. And he had a really, really great stuff. Like, and this is an intelligent now. It's not quite up there with like The Conversation, which is the film we'll be talking about. But it's for a thriller from the 90s. It's intelligent and it has a little something to say.
Yeah, and it's not just it is like, because I mean, I think it's the Will Smith's performance is textbook Will Smith. It's Will Smith playing Will Smith playing a lawyer.
Yeah,
but it's perfect. In the 90s, early 2000s, that's all I ever wanted. I had Will Smith up on such a pedestal until about 4 years ago. Like,
people will never, like, he was so big. Everything
he's
touched
the biggest
turned
thing.
to gold.
I'll never forget. I used to stay in Carlow, and I won't bring that up. God rest him. But anyway, somebody that I used to know, not related whatsoever, massive racist. And I'd be sitting there watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he'd come in and he'd just constantly he'd walk by and he'd always say, "Chase, you love them N-words, don't you?"
Jesus, really?
But because I just popped into my head there because we're talking Will Smith, but.
Like, he was so big on it, but then everything he did was just. I remember seeing Independence Day in cinema and just being like, "Oh my god, he's the greatest!" Yeah. Get the fuck out!
Was meant to play, and there's a funny clip of him. There's a funny clip of him going around going. He's read Independence Day. He goes, "I'm not doing. No one's going to see this shit." And he says he threw it out on the I-95 in LA. And he said him and his family. It was Independence Day weekend when the film came out. He goes, "Come on, we'll go and see this." Ha ha ha! And he said about a lion. One of Will Smith's lines. I should have fucking prepared this, but it was like it was the line that he made him go, "I'm not doing this film," and it was the one. It almost got a standing ovation when Will Smith did it in the theater,
Really?
like, and he was sitting there like, "Oh my god, what have I done?"
I remember actually there is just something about like a movie star like him, because I remember there was some like stupid fucking show like where they like modified motorbikes or something like that, and he was on it. And just for like fun, he's revving the thing and he goes like, "I have got to get me one of these." And I was like, "Oh, that's the line from the movie." And it was like, he just sounded like a movie star. Like there's just something transcendent, because it was the same actually on the fucking, this is real stupid, but on the Total Recall commentary, there's a bit where Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "This is a bit where I say, consider that a divorce." And even just him saying it, I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant." Like, he just has this X factor. Like, he's just brilliant.
Smith.
Like, yeah, Will Smith.
Yeah, look, he's the quintessential movie star.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, like, Denzel, yeah, but Denzel isn't what Will Smith is.
No, Will Smith
very
is
different.
So ingratiating, like, with an audience. Like, you love the guy. Like,
He's so charming, like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
he was something. Yeah.
See, the thing is like, and he's the same. But the only thing is about Will Smith, I think, and I think maybe people. I have to be very careful how I say this. Essentially, he's a white guy. Do you know what I mean? In blackface. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's one
very,
of those,
very. He's not like we speak about all the time. The kill black man, like Ving Rhames, Larry Fishburne, even Denzel, Jamie Foxx. He doesn't seem to fit in with them. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like there'd be a million people who'd criticize it, but he does kind of transcend it, because it'd be like. And look, I'm not saying I agree with people, but you can kind of look at some things and you go, okay, they did that for an effect, or they wanted to do it because of But when it's him, you're like, oh well, of course they give a role to Will Smith. Like, why wouldn't they? Like like there was a thing where even he brought it up. He said, "I'm playing like a black cowboy in Wild Wild West. Isn't that a bit weird?" And it was like, no one will care because it's you. It'd be like Morgan Freeman. Like, you just like race doesn't become an issue. Like post-racial.
He's playing an Irish guy called Red in the Shawshank Redemption. You know what I mean?
Well, who? Yeah.
But anyway, look, I don't. In regards to Will Smith, and I don't want to go manospheric, right? But I don't want to get into conversations about masculinity and what being a male is. But I'll tell you what, it's not. It's not sitting there taking it in the arse from your bald wife about how she fucking cheated on you with your fucking son's best mate. That's not it, like. And ever since then, and don't even get me started on the Chris Rock stuff, I'll never be on board with him again, and it breaks me heart because I see this and I fucking loved watching it.
I have to be honest with you, I did not lose any respect from after that, which is not to say I thought it was a good idea, but I was like, this isn't what I think about the guy.
But that's the thing, like, that's why I genuinely don't care what anybody, but there's just something that triggered the fucking alpha male in me or something like that made me go, that's just...
I just thought it was like...
And then his latest single and all, it's called Girls, and it's clearly like you don't like girls, like, do you know what I
mean? But I just remember, because we often try and teach like idioms, which are like expressions in the class, and I was like, if I ever had to teach, like, you could hear a pin drop, when he fucking went off on Chris Rock, and just that 10 seconds after it, if someone had dropped a fucking pin in that room, you would have. It was so deathly quiet.
But that goes to show but after that, like, forget right why he did or that, and like, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But just the fact that they gave him a fucking standing ovation, or like, great. What? He should have been arrested. Jim Carrey was dead, right? Because Jim Carrey gave an interview the day after, right? Not specifically about that, but it obviously came up, and he goes, if I was Chris Rock, I'd be suing him for $400 million. Yeah, that's it. That's there forever now. That's.
Whenever people criticize the way the I am like, if it was me and I was working, I'd be like, oh Jesus, what did Will Smith do? I'd just do nothing, right?
But you know what the funny thing is? Because I just said there that he's essentially a white guy. It's funny how when he gets ghetto when he has to fucking stand on business. Do you know what I mean? It was. I just thought. Do you know what really adds to it and pisses me off about it? Is the fact that he laughs at the fucking joke. And then the camera cuts away. Yeah. And then because he looks over the fucking the ball.
Yeah, that is like the fucking Zapruder film. Like, what happened in those few seconds?
She just looked at him and
he looks at his wife, and
she's not happy. Like,
who knows what goes on?
Fucking joke, like, Jesus Christ.
But the only thing because remember the interview she did in the show, and I forget, she said something like,
I had an entanglement.
No, which is just now. To be fair, Gwyneth Paltrow said, "What was it? On a conscious uncoupling a few years before," which is pure fucking.
Yeah, but she said that in an interview or something. She didn't say it in front of her husband.
But like, no, she said something like, like he agreed to it or something like that. And she just goes, "Oh no, it was my idea. I did it." I'm like, "Come on, he's sitting right there. Like, you don't have to fucking." She was trying to have this like, I'm a powerful moment. I cheated on and like. He's literally right there.
And he's in bits.
Yeah, the poor guy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. But anyway, long story short, Will Smith
She is good in the Matrix sequels, to be fair.
She's very good looking in the Matrix sequels.
She's actually, she's a good actress. Like, I have no idea what she's like. It's not fair for me to say she's
I've seen her more. It's like, I'm always banging the drum about Quentin Tarantino and doesn't need another mic in his face. It's similar to her. She's just too much.
I think so, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the way, like, how do your kids don't end up that weird unless you raise them that way? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is Holly weird, I suppose. Yeah. Christ on his throne, but we're getting slightly. The film has a really nice opening scene. This film we're talking about, Enemy of State. And I just miss films like this where, and then people who think, oh, Tony Scott's over the top, it's quite calmly paced. It's nice, sets up the scene
very
well.
Well. It's just the only issue right from the start and throughout I have is the soundtrack is just too much. It's almost constant. It's almost constant throughout.
It is. It's very over, but it's just nice. The opening scene now it's not from a different film, but it's very calmly. And I just miss stuff for like John Voight. He's the way he's groomed, he looks great. The other guy looks great.
Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper.
We've spoken about this before about the death of the character actor in modernity, right? Barry Pepper, The Green Mile. fucking Saving Private Ryan,
Yeah.
Crawl, you name it.
Have you seen him in 25th Hour?
No, I haven't
He is
seen
so he's that film is
Battlefield
so
Earth.
Battlefield Earth, yeah.
You can't forget
The
that
poor
one.
guy,
Like.
yeah.
But Barry Pepper is a fucking legend in my eyes.
Yeah,
like,
he's great,
genuinely true. He's one of the.
I love
He's,
Barry
he's up
Pepper.
there with some of one of my favorite character actors ever.
Yeah.
And the thing that pisses me off, and I say it every time it comes up, they don't fucking exist anymore, and it really hurts me. I think it really hurts cinema as a medium.
Yeah.
That we don't have these guys that aren't going to be top villain ever, but you know them, you recognise them. Oh, there's that guy.
No, he's brilliant.
And fucking
I remember for years he was the sniper guy in Saving Private Ryan. That's what you knew him as. The last thing I remember seeing him in the cinema, well, I probably must have seen it, but he was in True Grit, and he was fucking brilliant. He plays like the arse. He plays like the kind of notorious. He's not the character that they're looking for, but and there's a bit in it where he's talking to the young one, and he's actually quite reasonable. He's like, "Look, you're a kid, and I've nothing against you." And she goes, "Yeah, my gun didn't go off," and he goes, "Yes, and it will embarrass you every time." And I was like, what a great actor. Like the way he pulls off. You get such a sensitive character just the way he says that, yeah.
And even in this, like, because
he's great, yeah.
There's such an ensemble of actors in this.
Yeah, that really needs to be. So I remember, was it the guy who wrote the script for his remake of Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, and I heard an interview with him and he goes, Tony Scott is like insane. He'd be like, oh, I think we can get Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson will play the mayor character. And the guy was like, Tony, the mayor is in one scene. Why the fuck would Mel? And he's like, no, we can get him. And then they got James Gandolfini, but even James Gandolfini, who's great now, but he was like, well, I need to fucking do more than this. So, but he just has this attitude of, no, we can get these people. And if you look at all the guys on John Voight's team in this, they're all somebody. Now, whether at the time they really thought, the other guy in the opening scene is Lauren Dean, who I'm a big fan of. He was in, oh Christ, I'm going to blank on the fuck. Mumford. He was like the main character in this little drama thing around the time that I really like. He was great. Barry Pepper. James Caan's son the guy, Scott Caan.
The original Giga Chad.
Yeah, the fucking neck on him. Neckzilla.
And
the other guy, Jake Busey. Gary Busey. Jack Black, Seth Green. I recognize the other guy. Jamie Kennedy, yeah.
Who, thank fuck, is not given a lot to do here.
Yeah, but he's there and you'd kind of remember him. Like,
You remember all them. I think they're very well...
They're brilliant.
They're very, very, very... For such small characters, they're very well written.
This is what I mean. Like, Tony's got to get criticised, but I'm like, I defy you to say that if you saw them in a film soon afterwards, you wouldn't remember them. Because that's what he's... Like, they don't have a lot of depth to them, but they're... Whatever way he films them...
I'd say out of all of them, like, I mean, I think Jamie Kennedy is the least deep of each of the three characters, the Jack Black, Seth Green, and...
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because Seth Green is like kind of the leader of the geeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Jack Black is the one is
kind of the meat in between
like,
kind of a guy.
Yeah, because he's like... Because he spends time with the ops guys, and he's in the van. But the thing that I like about Jack Black is he's the one flying the flag. Maybe he doesn't fucking have it. He's the only one saying it. Like, he's all assuming. And
well, there's a great... When I rewatched it for this, there's a great moment where... Because Jack Black is... They never seem to... It's the guys who do the murder at the start. They're completely in on it. But there's a bit where Jack Black is kind of sitting there, like when he's introduced, and they say, "Oh, we need to get this guy and get the tape." And there's a bit where Jack Black kind of goes, and he's like, "Oh, I see." And like he goes, I'm not actually on your team, but you've got no choice now. You need me." And I'm like, "I'll just pretend I didn't hear that."
Yeah.
And he plays it like that kind of the whole way through. Like, because then at the end, he's the guy who's like, "I'll record this shit and see if I can cover my ass." He's a very good actor, Jack Black. He's kind of gone off and done his kind of shtick for a while now, which is he's good at, but very good. And like, they give him little things to do like that.
Yeah. He actually has a character to play here. Like,
true, yeah.
It's not just like stock.
So then, this is what I mean. Like, the film is very intelligent, but at the same time, it is just like, these are government people who just literally do outright murders in front of things and all this.
Yeah, it's
which
like
it
the
kind of
NSA,
has to be like that, yeah.
And the NSA really didn't like this film. I was reading, right?
I'm not surprised.
And a former NSA director, Michael Hayden, like completely said they've destroyed the NSA's reputation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 9/11 happens, and then all of a sudden, the NSA is the number one.
There's your conspiracy theories, you know what I mean? Because of this film, yeah.
It was Michael Hayden.
Well, if you look at it, right, so now when you watch the film, you never question this, but I was looking back and I was like, if you try and put like a realistic lens on this, they murder that guy to get votes on a thing. And I'm like, but like John Voight isn't like the head of the NSA. There's a bit later on where his wife is like, oh, when that goes through, you'll get that promotion. Like, is that his fucking motivation?
But he's a company guy, because they even say, because this guy's not an agent, he's a politician.
He's head, yeah. So look, you never question, it's not a problem, but I am like, who is it? It reminded me of like De Niro in Casino, because you're like, is he actually a mobster though? Or is he a guy that works with them? Because he plays it like he's a mobster. But is he? Like, you never see him beat anyone up. It's the same with this. It's like, what is he exactly? But it doesn't matter because it's John Voight.
And he's great.
Perfect casting,
he's brilliant.
He looks great. The way, the styling of it.
Even the minutiae of a conversation where he's like, would you like some coffee? Before he gets into it. Like, it's just, like, I mean, I do say that to people and they're like, he just said something like, what's your big... But no, that's the sign of a good actor. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, he's great.
He's fucking brilliant.
And I love the way, but just... like, it's such high quality, like the way his hair's done, the clothes he wears compared to the other guy, Jason Robards, who was a big actor as well. And I actually find the scene weirdly kind of sad, because the way they have the dog barking after the thing goes in, you're like, you actually feel bad for the guy, even though he's probably an arsehole politician.
He's a Republican, so I mean, you can't feel that bad. Like, you know,
did they actually say that he was?
He's Republican.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, he's very, he's pro-liberty, which libertarians to this day are very big on, aren't they? So then we get into, the plot is quite easy to follow, but it is convoluted when you have to explain it. So we're kind of introduced to Will Smith because they've some mobster related
Kilargio from A Bronx Tale.
It is that guy.
I swear to God, I've seen this film like 200 times. You know, I'm not joking. Like, this would have been on complete rotation when I was younger on DVD, right? And I never noticed it was fucking, what's his name? He has a weird name. Lilo Brancanto or
the two Italian lads sitting at the law firm. I'm like, I know them. I know those faces. And actually, the other guy is kind of a well-known guy as well. I can never remember his fucking name, but he was kind of a big noise earlier in the 90s. Like, there are just people everywhere. And I remember at the time reading an interview saying they thought that was deliberate, because you never know who's going to become important in the story, which becomes a big thing later on when they do the fake introduction of the Brill character. But I will say now, we can criticize Will Smith for his lifestyle choice or whatever. The bit where Tom Sizemore is in this and he's great. Yeah. He's the slimiest
fucking
mobster.
Guido fucking... he's like Tony Soprano, but like, you actually had some respect for Tony Soprano. This fella looks like Jabba the Hutt. Like,
he's just greasy and like decadent. But what I like, so he's in the scene and he's playing it like kind of cocky and all this, but I love when Tom Sizemore threatens him, he says, sit down. Will Smith doesn't play it like, all right, well, to move... Will Smith plays it like, okay, I'm scared. He doesn't have that much, like Tom Cruise wouldn't play the fear. No. I wouldn't think. But Will Smith isn't afraid to be like, oh, fuck. What have I got myself into here? Shit.
Because he understands that he's playing an innocent guy. Like, he's not playing an action hero. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and actually there's bits later on, like, again, we've kind of made the decision now, we'll hop around a bit, but when the fake cops are in his house, if you just look at it for what's happening, he's actually being kind of a dick. Like, he's just like, could he have given you something? No, you're not listening to me. I just told you he didn't. And you're like, Jesus, well, he actually did. Like, you're wrong. Yeah. But he's just playing it like, guys, get out of my house. I'm sick of it. Like, the character isn't just like this gee golly shucks kind of a guy. Like, he's edges to him. And I just thought, again, he's a better actor. He's a great movie star. But he's a better actor than people kind of give him credit for.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 100%. He deserved that Oscar he got after smacking...
I haven't seen King Richard now, but
I don't think anyone has actually seen that fucking thing. Like, Jesus
But
Christ.
Apparently he's great in it. But I mean, he's had some great performances.
He's legit he's a very good actor. Like, there's no fucking two ways about it.
See, he's one of them people that can kind of get bogged down because he's such a movie star. Because we assume, because you look at the big movie stars, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, like, and you're like, well, they're not really Keanu Reeves. Like, they're not. They can't really act like. You know what I mean? Not really, not in the traditional sense.
Yeah, Stallone. When he has the right character, is better than like a Schwarzenegger. Like, Schwarzenegger is just very charming, and because of good presence. But he's of the huge movie stars. I would actually rate him very highly as just like someone with an ability to act. Isn't kind of. I don't mean that.
Look at the one that really got him into film, The Legend of Bagger Vance. He's fucking Brilliant in that.
Still haven't seen that.
You've never seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's a Matt Damon. Well, Spike Lee didn't approve, so naturally.
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
I couldn't.
Well,
sign off.
Spike Lee didn't approve of fucking Django either, but I still watched
Did
that.
he not?
Like, no,
Jerry Adams did to bring it back.
To bring it back to the incendiary
My
voices.
dad sent me the fucking picture of that tweet, and I was just like, "Holy good Jesus Christ!" I won't go into what tweet that was, but feel free to look it up.
Jerry Adams.
Yeah,
Sinn
Jerry
Féin.
Adams Django. What the fuck was he thinking? So then we're introduced to Will Smith's very overbearing wife.
Yeah,
In the film.
She takes it.
Regina King, who's
Look,
quite good.
is this
yeah.
life imitating art or art imitating life?
One wonders, yeah.
She's very. I love Regina King, and she's a victim of the era she grew up in. Because I think she's a lot better than the roles she probably
She
got.
played a lot of characters kind of like this.
Yeah,
around
she's
this.
like,
Yeah.
and so always somebody's wife type shit, like, do you know what I mean? Which is a lot of female actors, like, do you know what I mean? It's
True, yeah.
they've been,
What's she been in recently?
recently, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I should have.
The last time I saw her, let me see, I'm getting her confused with Regina Hall.
Yeah.
That-
I remember
from
she
One Bad Lad and Raw.
wasn't she his mistress in Ray, or the one that he had an affair with in Ray? Oh, but
Yeah,
that's-
she was one of the singers.
That's like 23 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
I know, hang on here. Look, Kieran, help us out.
Yeah.
She was in the Watchmen TV show
Yeah.
Caught Stealing.
Oh, Caught Stealing, she was in. That's right, yeah.
What's Caught
Did you
Stealing?
see it, Darren Aronofsky?
No.
Austin Butler.
Okay.
Oh, it's very good.
She's
I
one of these
loved
ones.
it.
She probably looks exactly the same, does she?
Yeah. Blackdown crack, man. Blackdown crack. Unless you're Lawrence Fishbone.
Well, then it just enlarged itself. So love you, fish. But so after all that, there is again. I just want to put like how brilliantly photographed this is. He just had a great eye. Tony and Ridley Scott were just. He was always a little more over the top with the editing than Ridley Scott, but like just this film's just look. To me, this still looks. Like apart from some, even when I watched it with the students and even the flashy editing, I was like, "Oh, what's your problem?" But just the shots, the individual scenes,
See,
it
the
still
problem
looks
is
great.
the problem is now I don't think this film has a massive issue with pacing personally, because it is a long one. Like it's 2 hours 12 minutes. Like
It takes
full
ages to
running.
get to. I assumed like they were together.
Him and
Gene
Brill.
Hackman doesn't show up for an
an
hour,
hour, yeah.
and then he disappears for a while
Yeah,
after
for
that.
another yeah. But that's the thing, like, because I mean, I saw some stuff online about people saying about pacing and stuff. I didn't have an issue with pacing whatsoever. I no time was I like, hang on.
No, God no, it
Do you know
moves
what I mean?
along, bombs along.
But
Yeah.
the one thing I would say is, at different points of the film, the editing is quicker than at other points. Do you know what I mean? Especially these like the big long fucking where it's spinning around say the Pentagon or something like.
Oh yeah, those are the bits the students were laughing at.
Yeah, like see, but those bits happen in clusters. They don't happen throughout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of annoyed me. Like,
That was an effect that was hip at the time, and it hasn't. I don't think it's aged that badly, but the students now definitely disagree.
just
with
too
me,
much, like.
So then we get, and I remember I watched this with a mate of mine, Ray Sullivan, the first time on VHS, and we had never seen. It was seeing the Kevin Smith films. So Jason Lee plays the guy who
Daniel Zavitz.
created the tape, yeah. And I can't explain this to you, but we found his character really annoying, and we're like cheering when he got hit by the fire truck. I cannot explain, except at the time
he doesn't have a lot to do. Like,
well, there were loads of characters like that, and what I like about it again, like the film has some layers. Like he sees the murder tape, and then he starts smiling because he's like, "Oh my
money.
God, I got this fucking amazing thing!" Yeah,
but see, the thing is, this is why I love this film so much. Is not to put all my cards on the table too early, but like the reason I do was because it just massages something in me, because everything is kind of, we spoke about it before, therefore. Do you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
it's a perfect example of that. So Phil Hammersley is murdered, therefore X, and then the way it all links up and it all comes back around.
No, the way
it's
it comes around at the
it
end,
massages something. It cures an itch somewhere in me. Like, do you know what I mean?
no, it's very methodically. Well, at least it's so quick, and the way it's done so intelligently that you're like, probably all fits together well enough, doesn't it? Like it doesn't never bother you. It's I can't explain. I think maybe at the time we were connecting to he's some lefty fucking up his own hole kind of
Hippie.
crusader. Yeah. Fuck him.
Do-gooder.
And now I'm looking at him like, oh, that's Jason Lee. I love Jason Lee.
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
but having said that, the character is not someone who's like, hey man, let me fucking. But this is what I mean now, and I do remember noticing at the time the guy he calls up is like a character actor who was in True Lies and Congo. And I was like, oh, I know that guy. And again, you were like, is he going to become... he's just a guy who answers the phone. But to that movie reviewer's point, like, is he going to become bigger? So the film is like, who are we going to follow next? Like, is Jason Lee going to survive? No, he gets creamed. He just bumps into it. Like, that's the big coincidence is that he just bumps into him.
Yeah, so that's the bit where you go, that's the contrivance, that's the part where you go, okay.
It's not the inciting incident, but they have a name for that where that's okay or whatever.
But I have to say, this is where Will Smith is enjoying playing Will Smith. Although he is very good in this.
Oh, in the lingerie shop.
Because it's very good, because that's Will Smith, like. If you were to describe the man, like, and how he is as an actor, and what he can bring to anything, any script, like, no matter what he's given.
He's very funny, like. It's like, you picture Tom Cruise doing, and you're like, oh, no.
No, he'd be creepy, like, he'd be fucking smiling, staring at our tits, like, do you know what I mean?
I'm being funny. Come on, laugh. Will Smith just has and he's bumbling, and he's like, oh, fuck.
And you believe it, like, do you know
and
what I mean?
one in the shop is treating him like a complete fucking idiot. Like, there's no movie star like, oh, you're good looking, and you know. Sorry, I have to digress. I don't know why it popped into it, because that's a classic thing with the male movie star. Like, they walk in and all the girls.
It's like Steven Seagal and
did I mention that before? It is just like, come on now.
She fucking falls, slips off the chair.
The best looking fucking woman in the club, and she's like, ooh, who's this?
In a club,
who's this pudgy ponytail fucking chap?
Like Tay Diggs standing next to him.
I get the fuck out of here. But yeah, so it is just a massive coincidence he bumps into it, but it's kind of nice in a way, like how random it is. Like, that's the thing.
The thing is, it doesn't ever strike me as, even though you do have to kind of, oh, well, that's convenient, like, but it doesn't strike me as.
There's no film without that.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't make me go, and it seems natural. Oh, we went to Georgetown together. Like, nothing too kind of. Oh, well, that wouldn't happen. Like,
just random, and that's a really well done scene. Like, in the bit with the. Now, I think maybe some of what the students were reacting to was, because now we're like, at the time, like, oh, satellite, that's kind of high tech. Nowadays, they'd just be plugging into all the CCTV cameras around the place.
But that's the thing, like, because
or they'd have a drone.
But this is the thing, like, this is predicted. Like, we allowed this happen. Like, what? Because this would have. There's a high percentage of people that would have watched this and would have been like, in the back of their head going, oh my God, we can never let them do this. Now we have fucking Alexa in our
It's
in our
10 times
Netflix.
worse, it just happened.
We have smart TVs. Like, the fucking CEO of Sony or Samsung said, be very careful what you say around your TV because it's listening to you. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus.
And you're like, oh my God, like, what have we done? Like,
and you just
your fridge,
to,
your toaster is listening to you. Like, smart toasters, smart.
Well, so much of it is, and I don't often agree with him. There's a guy called Peter Hitchens, and I heard an interview, and he goes like, I was checking into a hotel, and they were like, what's your name and address? And I was like, well, why should I give that to you? And I was like, yeah, why do we give them our passports? Who are these people in a hotel? Like, I was like, why? Oh,
and that's in the film where the kid gets kidnapped or whatever. Like, it's always because the fella behind the desk is that they're selling the passports to fucking somebody. Do you know what I mean?
That's in Hostel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just something we just. Oh, sure, that's the cost.
It's just what happens.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. And that's, look, we're all
but
like
it's
that.
Mental, like, and especially now because the stuff that he's talking about like Gene Hackman is talking about later on about if you say bomb or Allah or whatever and start recording, they reckon now that everything's recorded. And if they need to, they'll dip in. Because I hate to bring him up because I think he's a dickhead and I don't like speaking his name. But Elon Musk was speaking about how everything, like, this, you don't have privacy. But they don't look at you. They're not looking at fucking. That's why people go mad. Oh, they're going to put a chip in me with the fucking vaccine. Like, nobody cares what you're doing, fucking Charlene from the fucking flats. Like, do you know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit. But if they ever need to, they have all your shit on file. That's the way Elon Musk is. And he goes, nobody cares what porn you're watching. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna. But they have all this shit if they need it. So if you start getting shorty or fucking. You start getting a big following online, like, say, a Nick Fuentes or something, and you're a fucking problem. Well, then all of a sudden they have everything you've ever done. Like,
on the plus side, comedy is legal again. I remember I got
dangerous again.
Yeah, I got like a spam email once from someone going like, "Hello,
Prince of Nigeria."
No, it was like, I have recorded the pornography you were watching and your webcam, but it goes and I was like, this is pure Google Translate. It goes, wow, your tastes are really far from the normal course. I was like, well, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, but like, in the fucking world we live in, because we live in a social media age now as well. And like, I mean, you do hear stories of that type of shit, but it's happening to fucking 11-year-olds and they're killing themselves.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
It's-
as much as like I'm like, well, there's no fucking webcam connected here. That's
exactly,
the only reason I'm not sweating
yeah.
bullets. Like, but no, I could fucking imagine some poor. But when I was like. No, when I was 12, I remember something popped up because I remember pop-ups used to just happen.
Yeah.
Like, you have won a prize, and I remember going to my mum, "Did we enter a competition or something?" Because the internet's telling me we won. Like, Jesus Christ!
I remember one, right? Now this is going to be graphic, so I might have to edit this out, right? But it was porn, right? It'd be on LimeWire. And that's when you'd give your computer aids, like the pop-ups that used to come up with LimeWire. The kids, you used to have to fucking download your music illegally, and like you'd be giving your computer viruses, everything, right? But like this used to be one, and it sticks out because it popped up all the time. It wasn't just one and done, and you never saw it again. But it was a woman bent over, right, with her arse gaping, and the thing was pulsating. And I will never forget that. Like
Tried
to
to
this day,
to climb into the screen.
to this day, I'm a big ass man. Like, do you know what I mean?
That was the start of it, was it?
I think so. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh Christ! How do we get onto arses? Oh, Regina King's in this, isn't she? Oh no, sorry, we were on Jason Lee getting hit by the fucking. That was where he came into it. No, sorry, he goes home after that. That's actually when she that happens after, yeah, because he's gone shopping for her and all this, yeah. So it actually does take a while, like to fucking like
Get into it. But it doesn't seem like you're waiting for something to happen.
No, I'd swear it was like 20 minutes. It's actually like 45 minutes.
And this is exactly, we spoke about last week about how Philip Seymour Hoffman and the way it cuts away before you see the impact on him at the end when he dies, when he gets run over. That's all I needed. I needed a split second. I can clearly see it's a dummy as well in this. Like, oh, I need to see that moment of impact. That's it. That gives you the ooh. Seeing the body broken up afterwards, I need to see it happening. Like, do you know what I mean? And Tony Scott understood the assignment.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
he knows what he's. It's very well done. Like that whole scene, and the stunt work is good, and it's all done for real and stuff. Like like again, as much of it seems to me state of the art, it's like still a product of its time. Like real people doing stunts, and it doesn't look fake or anything.
But hang on here. But one issue I did have here, right? He's flying the downhill on a bike, and Scott Caan is keeping up with him. Like, how the fuck is that?
The other
happening?
thing
Like,
is, I'm like, why did he swap over to the other side of the street? That's what killed him. Like,
Yeah.
But I remember when it happened,
and he sees the fucking fire truck, like, so he's playing chicken. Like,
it is
do you
a
know what I
bit,
mean?
yeah. Well, I suppose he's like, now I'll. But I remember me and my mate going like, yes, because we were. I don't know why we were just like not on that guy's side. I couldn't. Maybe we were a government stooges or something. I don't know. So he goes home, and this is a bit where they start paying attention to him because he has his Jason Lee had his business card. And I like the fact that these fake guys show up and they've real badges, of course, and everything. And
DC Metro, Brady Pepper.
Yeah, jeez, he's brilliant.
Fucking fantastic. And I love how they come in and they're very professional, they're very astute, and then when he's not, things aren't going their way, they completely change.
Yeah, like, were you buying that for Rachel Banks? Good night, gentlemen. Yeah, who's played by the lovely Lisa Bonet,
which always again reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because there's this thing that I'll never forget from there's a line that Will Smith says. I think it's Ashley is saying something like, "Oh, you'll never do this, or you'll never do something else," and he goes, "Well, I'll never meet Lisa Bonet." And it's mad. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Because that always sticks out to me, especially when it comes to this film. Like,
yeah, did you ever see Angel Heart? She's fucking, it's amazing. Angel Heart, she's great in that, yeah. Yeah, and actually, she's good character in this. She's kind of the
she's
woman
given a bit more to do than, say, Regina King, say.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
She's given a character to play, actually.
Yeah, she has. Regina King is grand. Like, you like her or not. Actually, for the character it is, she's very likable. Like, she pulls it off.
Because you shouldn't like that character.
Yeah.
She's very overbearing person.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. But Lisa Bonet, she's a little more damaged and, you know, all this. So...
Did you watch Ray Donovan?
No, that's the Liev Schreiber thing.
Yeah, she's in season 4 of that, I want to say. Okay. And when I tell you, it is one of the best fucking characters in that whole thing. Because I'm a big Ray Donovan guy. I put that up there with the fucking, just under The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and fucking Game of Thrones. Like, it's just there. Like, it's very melodramatic compared to the rest of them. But it's so good. And she plays a character in that where she's a junkie, and her brother is friends with Ray Donovan, but he's a big fucking championship boxer, and they're siblings, and they're having sex with each other.
Oh, yes.
And it's fucking... Okay. I've never been harder.
Check it out, yeah. Hasn't the gaping arsehole on.
Yeah, I don't know why we're so X-rated this week.
Why the fuck not?
I think I need to go out.
You gotta get the baby batter off the brain. Clean the pipes, that's what they say.
Clean the pipes, yeah.
So this is where they really start honing in on him. And I really like this detail was they're looking at the kind of the body camera that the guy has. And you think it's just random, but they're like, what watch is that? What pen is that? And then it turns out they're looking at it so they can swap his stuff out later. And you're like, my God.
No, it's like, that's a Parker pen. He goes, no, it's a Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because it just appears, if you're paying too much attention, you can go, well, why you would? It is kind of obvious what they're doing. But because the film is written and as slick as
and it's
such,
so quick.
that you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're like, and that's really creepy later on when they swap all the stuff out. And you're like, oh, gee, it's not even your stuff. It's like fake stuff. And then they break into the gaff and they give is it Scott Caan just starts like throwing things around. They cut back to the guy, like, oh, what's up with that guy? He's a bit fun. And the way their haircuts and everything.
Oh yeah. Sure, that's what Jack Black has the joke. He goes, did you guys, or Seth Green goes, did you guys come from communications? And then he goes, no, ops. And he goes, yeah, just look at that fucking haircuts.
Yeah, to be fair, how'd you miss that book? Oh, yeah. So this is where the real screw starts to turn, and they've framed him up for being like mob ties and all this. Yeah. Poor fucking guy. And it's
amazing how quick it. See, the thing is, I think, because this is where the film really starts it's trying to become like a pressure cooker. Do you know what I mean? And I think because it's almost a victim of its own killness, this film, because I don't think it quite achieves that kind of pressure cooker. The world is closing in.
No,
vibe.
You're right. Yeah, it doesn't.
It's still too big. Yeah. Even when they're chasing him through hallways, it still feels big. Yeah. It's not like.
Well, they don't spend a lot of time on his social downfall, which some other movie, because that really turns my screws when it's like. What the fuck is it? Like any movie where it's like about a corrupt policeman who might be discovered, I'm always like, oh my God, that'd be awful. Whereas with this, it's all over very quickly. And it's kind of done funny the way he gets fired and he's like, do you ever beat off in the shower? It's none of my fucking business.
That's a great line.
That's great though. It's a great scene, like, don't get me wrong. But they don't spend a lot of time dwelling on that because they want to get to the foot chases and all this, and it's very quick. But yeah, that stuff, I find that very creepy when they swap out with stuff. And
and I think, I don't know who this guy is, his mate, his lawyer mate.
Yeah, he's the guy. He was kind of a big. No, he's in Zodiac. He's the cop who, the very end where the guy goes, I know this guy. He's the cop who's introducing him, who's interviewing him.
Yeah, okay,
I can't remember his fucking name. I
think he's very good here.
He's great.
He's in about 2 scenes, but like he just adds like because it's expository. It's expository essentially. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's still, he's just very good.
Yeah,
like,
I can't
everybody in
remember
this is kind of fucking very good. Like,
no, it's just one of those things they made in the 90s, full of recognizable people, and they're all given something to do, and they're kind of memorable. I can't remember. I'll get Kane, but he was in. Was it Phantasm Part 2 or 3? They replaced another actor with him, the guy we're talking about, because he was kind of a hunky Hollywood guy, and the other guy was just a guy in an indie film, and he's a good actor. Yeah, I can't remember his fucking name. James LaGrosse, that's the guy. Yeah, he was a Brad Pitt lookalike early in the 90s, and then he grew the beard, and he grew the hair.
Get away.
Yeah, well, you got to get it. You'll never out pretty Brad Pitt. Like, I don't care who you are. So then this is where they start really turning the screws on him, and he gets very upset, and his wife automatically just assumes he's fucking around on her, which I was like, that's a bit unfair, isn't it?
No, because did they not? They showed.
They show photos. No, they just show photos of them talking. And
yeah, but
now,
like,
granted,
he had an affair 4 years ago, and she even says we went to counselling for a year.
Yeah,
like, you know, come on now, you're just a fucking misogynist pig. You really are. Like, of course she'd go mad. She's every way.
I think she's overreacting. Am I right, fellas? Nag.
But this is where she's actually. This is where I feel like our acting chops showing through, because I really feel like she's that. We've all been there in an argument with someone, and they're caught between anger and crying and fucking.
No, she is.
She plays that really well. Like.
Did you know? So I found it weird. She has that blonde friend who's like, "Hey,
was that
asshole."
a trope? Was that a trope?
Well, the other thing, because then I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, is that John Voight's wife later on? Because she's your one from Breaking Bad. It's not, right, but they've very blonde hair and they look very similar.
But the thing is, was this a trope? Because you know the way when the man does something wrong, his wife's bitch friend shows up like in skulls. I think
because there is no reason for her to be there, except later on he calls her up
to go.
So it's kind of plausible. He thinks he can get away with it. But apart from that, like, there's no reason for her to be there. And she is just... one note, we know he's right, she's wrong, and she's like, "Oh, hey, asshole,
you bitch."
That's your problem. But they play all that, and I do like the scene where like his credit cards won't work. That's the closest it kind of gets to that social kind of like, you know, fall from grace kind of a thing. And they nick his briefcase. Like, where's my briefcase?
But the hotel don't do enough here. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Surely security be called. We look at the CCTV. You see Scott Canston legging out the door with it. Like,
True, yeah,
and then
yeah.
like you call the guards, you give them the photo.
They could
and
have
then-
helped him out a bit more,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
So then he meets up with Lisa Bonet, and that's nearly like exactly like a scene from The Conversation.
100%.
The opening scene of The Conversation, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all the exact same shit. Like, it's all line of sight.
It's in the same
Yeah.
kind. It's not the same. I wouldn't
same
imagine
square.
it's the same thing.
No,
but
because
it's
that's
very
San Francisco
similar.
is the Conversation, and
Yeah,
this is Baltimore.
it's in a public square, yeah.
So anybody who doesn't know, we'll get into it more in a bit. But Gene Hackman starred in Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation, playing a guy called Harry Caul, and fans theorise that he's playing the same character in Enemy of the State, making this a de facto sequel
kind
almost
of a
to The
side
Conversation
sequel or something, yeah.
But
yeah.
we'll get more into that later.
No,
but the
well, that's
Conversation,
what I missed that from 90s films, is that he's cast as a reference to that, and like they would reference things and they'd have like
completely
callbacks
clearly,
and
because
stuff,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, when they find out who he is, the photo that they use in the NSA is a photo
Yeah.
of him from The Conversation.
Well, you see, now maybe it's just because I grew up in the era, but I am fine with all that. I'm like, that's a homage or a homage or however
he has the
you
same
pronounce
raincoat
it,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, but like that to me is like, oh, we're referencing this other film because we're making our own point with our own film. And I don't know, now I can't think of any good example, but I people criticize it more today, or it's not done as delicately today or whatever. But I'm like, in the 90s, that was perfectly normal. Like, you're like, hey, here's another film, but we're kind of riffing off of it. And it's like, oh,
Yeah, but now we're postmodern now. Like, do you know what I mean?
that's true. Yeah.
So things that we watched in the 90s that were remakes of things are being remade again. And even just look at music now. Like, fucking remixes of songs that we would have listened to 20 years ago are now remixes again of this. Like, it's all.
It's depressing into it. Yeah, well,
It's
that's the circle
postmodern.
of
And
life.
it's like,
Now this was
just need a good war.
I would the only reason this isn't absolutely amazing is I remember the marketing for this, and look at the fucking covers here. It's the Will Smith Gene Hackman show. But it is in 50 years this will be nearly perfect, because you'll just be watching it with a fucking thumbnail and probably won't tell you anything. A very famous actor, Gabriel Byrne, shows up
what?
and pretending to, and he's great.
This is where the script goes even further, and it gets very fucking clever. Do you know what I mean? Because just how this whole scene happens, like,
No, the way it's written, you wouldn't notice it the first time around. He doesn't say who he is, Will Smith does, and the guy has this brilliant story he pulls out of the air of who Brill really was. He's like, he died, he was buried in a field in Kansas when he was 2 years old. It's Gabriel fucking Byrne, who was just off of Usual Suspects, kind of the height of his career, just to fuck with you. Because I do remember now seeing it and going like, wait a minute, he's Brill? I thought he was, like, I was going with it. And someone who like wouldn't have watched as many trailers as me might just be like, oh, is this just a thing? Because he's and Gabriel Byrne at the opening, which can be a big actor. And then he's just like some random guy who's like fucking with it. And I was like, that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that's brilliant.
I love that because and he's because he's in it for about 4 minutes, like.
But he's bringing his A game. That's what I love about it as well.
Because he's not just here for a paycheck, like, do you know what I mean? He's actually, he has something to play, like, do you know what I mean? And it's so good, like, because I mean, it essentially turns into a car chase between the real Brill and him.
Yeah.
And it's just, but the way he holds court with Will Smith in the back, thinking that he's safe.
Yeah.
And you kind of get the feeling then, oh, right, hang on, something's up here. Like,
Something's
do you know what I mean?
amiss here, yeah, it's great. And the way he...
Because why is your man being so obvious, like beeping the horn and all, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, the other thing I like about it is a certain point, because I only noticed this now when I rewatched it. Someone's like, "This is is there anyone out there help me?" You can tell he's kind of like panicking a bit. It's like, what the fuck? I was just told this would be easy.
Yeah,
like
I was just told that to go in.
And it's there, like, and he's given. This is what I love about it is he isn't just like, well, it's me, it'll be fine. He's like, he's actually doing his job. Like, he's fucking really bringing it.
He's one of our best exports.
He's great.
Like,
I love Gabriel Byrne. So then I love as well the shot where it's like Will Smith and he looks out and it's his point of view looking at Gene, and it's just a great introduction where Gene Hackman's like, and you're like, that guy's coming back.
Because 100%. Because like obviously we touched on it there about how it's the same. It's theorized that it's the same character. Do you know what I mean? But like if you watch The Conversation, which I did twice in the run up to this, now the reason I watched it twice was because I'd never seen it before, and I struggled with Coppola as to what he's trying to say sometimes. So a lot of the stylized, overly stylized stuff and all, and I'm like, okay, I have no idea what's going on.
I have, as the kids say, some thoughts on the conversation, but we'll get into it.
I watched it the second time and I kind of got the vibe, like, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Funnily enough, it was the same vibe I got watching The Secret Agent, which came out last year. It was that kind of paranoid, silent paranoia, like, do you know what I mean?
I keep meaning to say that. You keep recommending it to me.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was that kind of vibe that I got. And I could kind of understand what Coppola was getting at then, like, do you know what I mean?
I will go into it maybe later on, but I just remember, because obviously we were talking before, Gene Hackman died in very, very unfortunate, sad circumstances.
Terrible,
like we were talking about the kind of people you miss in movies. Just the scene in this where he's like silently taking the stuff off of Will Smith, and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's so like the physicality of it, like even the way before he gets in, the way he pulls out the gun and he's just like waiting here. Yeah,
that's the thing where you kind of have to do a bit of writing in your own head on if it's the same character, because Harry Caul is very timid and he's very shy,
different. Yeah.
Whereas this guy is fucking aggressive.
This guy's an operative.
He's been underground since 1980 on his own, so that'll do something to him.
Might have got a bit
like,
cracked,
you know what I mean?
yeah. But the way he's like, the way he shushes him, the way he pushes the gun, the way he puts the stuff in the bag, and like, he just had this presence.
But
like
that's
Gene
a great
Hackman.
director of photography and a great director as well, because you have to be able to shoot that physicality in that. Do you know what I mean? So it's
great, yeah. And then the chat they're having on the top, and the way just Gene Hackman just
and then
holds your interest.
it doesn't come till later, but you don't notice that he's not looking up. And that's just so clever, like, do you know what I mean? That he goes, he's not looking up, and he goes, well, what does that mean? He goes, well, satellites can only look down, and he goes, well, that's a bit limited.
Yeah.
He goes, why don't you build a new one?
Yeah. I remember like simultaneously enjoying it so much and then being so depressed that he's gone and we don't look. I hate to be one of these guys, the good old days and all this, but like, I'm sorry, like
his last film was Runaway Geordie or something, was it?
I think he did. You want to say it was like Welcome to Mooseport or something like that. It is that. Yeah, which I never saw now.
With fucking Ray Romano.
One of the last ones he did was Behind Enemy Lines. That was quite near the end. And then
Runaway Geordie, I think, was his last, if you want to call it, fucking dramatic role.
Yeah, kind of a good one. He was so good. He was fucking brilliant.
He was fantastic. Like, I mean, French Connection, like, oh my God.
I remember because it was on that Quentin Tarantino thing, and he was talking.
He's one of the good old white guys, like.
Yeah, he was. What's the fucking name of it?
And he's not on the Epstein files.
It's one where he plays a cop on a train. Oh fuck me, what's it? Narrow Margin it's called.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about it on the Tarantino one, and he says Gene Hackman would be in like 4 movies a year playing basically the same character. So in this film, they don't even have to introduce him; he just shows up. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. And then when he does show up, you don't need to introduce him because he's so great. Like he just had that thing in like his voice and fucking. Now apparently he was a difficult person to work with, especially if you were a young director or something. But fuck me, he's brilliant. Just the voice of him. If you live another day, I'll be very impressed. Like that was in all the nearly everything he says in all the trailers. He's so fucking good.
Because he's just he's very good.
But when he says that, like he means it, and you're like, oh, poor Will Smith.
The only line that the only line I didn't like here, and I don't know why they kept it in and didn't cut it out. And he goes, but my wife gave me this watch, and he goes, keep it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that after I'm saying, get rid of everything. And he goes, well, keep it then.
Yeah, he maybe didn't play it as much of you fucking moron, just keep it then, yeah. But that's just everything about that. You're just like, this is the movie just needed. I mean,
it's hard to say that a guy that was 94 or something, like, it was gone too soon. But when you have such a presence and such a role to play in cinematic history overall, like, do you know what I mean? Because I mean, you look at books, say for instance, about the good old the Raging Bulls and all that type of stuff, right? Peter Biskind, Gene Hackman is as important to the overall cinematic history as any of the guys in that book that I mentioned, Scorsese, fucking Coppola, any of them.
Yeah,
like he's such.
Oh, jeez, Unforgiven. Like, fuck me, I don't deserve this. I was building a house. Fucking, that's good stuff. So then, he shows, and then he disappears for like 20 minutes.
For a good while, like, do you know what I mean?
While, yeah. And it takes now. Is it
because at this stage, Lisa Bonet, Rachel Banks isn't dead.
Yeah, that's what it takes a while. Now, I did find this unusual. So Will Smith, look, they need a few contrivances here. Will Smith goes home to get a few things, but
not before he tells him to get rid of his clothes.
Excuse me.
There's a whole set piece here. Like
there is. Sorry, yeah, we're kind of skipping out. It's very well
on
done.
The cover. It's on the cover.
That's kind of actually a famous scene for me. It's very well done. The whole thing. Yeah.
Because what happens is he goes into and I think this is a bit of a trope as well. But like the fucking Chinese tourists getting way too much of a fucking.
That is. It's so funny though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's, well, everyone's like, that's good stuff.
And then the fucking husband's just sitting there handing on money. Like
the husband's like, all right, go on, have your fun. And I love how the guys then run in with all the guns and like, and Barry Weber's like, let's not let this get out of hand. You're like, oh, it's not there already.
And then it's very cool looking again because. Sometimes this can annoy me because I mean at the time it probably would have been a helicopter like, but the shots from outside where they're moving and he's jumping down, so they can get taxing for me because it's like there's too much shit going on. It was a little overdone because
the stunt is so good. The guy out there and
just leave it.
But some of it now it was cleverly done enough that you're like, Jesus, is that him? But that's it's obviously when they did a safety and all that. Yeah, I agree. Like some of the moving there,
and then but again, just I think this is a care to the story and. Which a lot of films such as this, or maybe some other Tony Scott ones, it's not that level of care isn't quite there. But the way they go in and say, grab his clothes, get his clothes, all those little things. Like, how many action films have you seen where they just forget about all that shit? Like,
but these guys, that's their bread and butter. That was all good stuff. Yeah. And then I found this funny though. He goes back to his house and he's kind of his wife goes into the garage with him. And it is a plot point, but she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then they start kissing. And then he was apparently like undressing his wife so he could feel her up. And I'm like, seriously, man, have you nothing fucking better for doing? Like,
yeah, but like, I mean, can you imagine? I can imagine the pressure. Do you know what I mean? Every now and again, you just need a release. Like,
come on, baby.
I don't make any decisions without fucking.
Fair enough. Yeah, you've got to bust a nut before you can't think on a. on a loaded gun. But it's a clever plot point though, because she put on the lingerie and then that's what gives him the idea. Oh, maybe the kid took the fucking thing, and I was like, oh, that's good. That's good A to B.
Yeah.
And then it is again, they just needed to get away with it.
Consuela.
Then they don't follow her, but they do say, no, we're following the kid at the school or whatever. So it is kind of plausible.
Yeah. And then Jack Black, I don't know why he goes, oh yeah, but they don't shave and all this. Oh
yeah. There's even more of that in the director's cut. He come back and says it again. You're like, all right, we kind of got it the first time. But this is where he meets up with Gene Hackman again. And this is where shit gets real, as they say. So
Rachel's dead at this point.
She gets killed, and they were going to set him up.
Yeah, and they left all his.
And actually, there was a line from John Voight that I just thought was brilliant the way he does it, because
John Voight kind of disappears here as well.
He does. He pops up. He's very much a phone kind of. But there's a bit of it early on where he goes, "Oh, I hate doing this at Christmas." And I remember now, this is just me, but for a split second I was like, does he mean he hates doing this to someone? And then you're like, no, he's just like such an arsehole. It's no consideration of his. He's ruining this man's life. He's like, all this pain in the whole of fucking Christmas. Like, Jesus, he's no consideration.
I have to be honest with you, I was only thinking about this today because I mean, I'd die on the hill of saying back in the day that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right? I would have been, but that's like saying this is a Christmas movie now that I think about it, like, do you know what I mean?
Well, this has none of, like, there's no.
Yeah, but Macaulay Culkin said it perfectly, right? I think he was on Hot Ones or something. He goes, well, no, it's definitely not a Christmas movie because it's not integral to the plot. It could be St. Patrick's Day and Die Hard. It doesn't fucking matter.
I think the screenwriter, friend of the show, Steve D'Souza, had a snapback at that, but clapback, I think, as the kids say. Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. Sombrero, as we learned last week.
Shows what I know. Wake up, granddad, what kids? So then he meets up with Gene Hackman again, and this is again another very well done kind of chase scene. So he shows up, and then so he has the tape, and then they finally figure they only have the tape, and they know what it is for like 2 minutes, and then that's basically it. But they crack it, and they see the thing and all this, and then the boys have shown up, and Gene Hackman. This is a bit of a trope, but
because this is where he calls. This is where he calls back to that blonde girl.
Yeah. So she kind of becomes important, and I do like how John Voight has this horrible home life. He seems to be miserable. Like his wife's a real fucking shrew, and
that poor fucking woman. Like she only gets to play these type of characters. Like
I know
Anna Gunn. Is that her name? Is something Gunn? What's her name? Anna Gunn. Yeah. So she
seems to specialize.
No, but she's known as like this is where all the fucking shit with the manosphere and all comes from. Because like fellas will. Like go mad about how they wish Skylar would have died early in Breaking Bad because Walter's a fucking drug dealer who kills people. Like,
I've seen,
and
like,
the wife is the who has an issue with it.
I've seen some AI thing where it's every male character from that, like, sitting around the barbecue and they're all jacked, and it was like Breaking Bad if Skylar was dead or something like that. And I was like, all right, I haven't seen the full show, but okay.
Well, the hatred for that woman, and she's playing the same character.
I found her in Breaking Bad. I found it like believable. I was like, well, everything she does kind of makes sense. Like,
she's just a fucking concerned woman.
Yeah, you
like,
can argue that, like, you know, you want to see a different kind of a show or whatever, but like I find that kind of weird. Yeah, she is just playing the same character.
They want Edie Falco
yeah.
to just shut up. They want Edie Falco on The Sopranos to just know what's going on and keep their mouth shut.
Well, they want to live that fantasy, I suppose. That's what some people want. So this was in all the trailers now. It is kind of a trope, but Brill is the genius kind of guy living outside the system who's so prepared. He's rigged the whole building to blow up. But it is very cool, like the whole thing. And that was a big trailer moment.
But they actually demolished the building. Surely, yeah.
Well, that was
that's
the
not
famous
special effects. Like
that
you
was
see the thing implode.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
That's the famous trailer line where he goes, "What did you do? I blew up the building. Why? Because you made a phone call."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
What a line! Like,
yeah.
And I love the fact that even as that driving out, because it looks like they're about to hit the truck. But he has it rigged in such a way that he can just fit out it. Like,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, because you can tell he's really set this up. But I can't remember all the details. But like, there's some shot of it where they're driving away. There's an explosion in the background, and then a helicopter comes in. And I'm like, and there's a train. That's not fucking easy. Like syncing all these things up. Maybe it's not exactly that complicated. But even if there's an explosion in a car and any other element, it's syncing any of that up's fucking difficult. Great stuff, like real old school kind of craftsmanship.
Yeah, definitely.
And so then they have again to your point.
This is a very long fucking. This is a bit convoluted now because it's a car chase. Yeah. Then it turns into a foot chase.
Yeah.
And
then it turns into they do get very blasé once they get behind the train because they're just having a conversation, and then on the other side you see all these guys with guns looking at them like, lads, I wouldn't be so fucking blasé. I'd be
but see, is it one of them that it's not made clear, like this is one of them trains that's about 4 miles long, like in America.
That's
like,
grand, but the other guy, the guys in the, I'm like, lads, is there no gap in those trains that are going to take a shot at you or something? Would you fucking, but like, look, that's just the trope of it, you know. So then they steal a car, and then this is where again the film just has these great moments where it's like, it needs a kick in the arse, and then it takes a kick in the arse. So Gene Hackman showing up kicking the arse. And then the next one is where they're sitting down. He goes, so what do we do? He goes, you got to use your strengths your weaknesses as strengths. So they're big, you're small. And you're like, you can see the wheels turn. He's like, yeah, we can do this. And you're like, here we fucking go. The bit where they turn the tables on them, you're like, yeah.
Well,
nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like, and because obviously we spoke about at the start, it kind of takes a while for all this to kind of transpire. Where they do it in 5 minutes here, like where they completely destroy everybody's life. Do you know what I mean? And it's just so, because I think it's really cool, like, the way he kept all the stuff that he kept on, he held on to it, like all the trackers and recorders and tracers and all this. And I love it. It's happened already, but I love the line where he says the specific model that was in your left shoe, I designed the first one of them and all this.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So this guy is, he's the real deal.
Yeah, the way they tie it all in, the credibility, and Gene Hackman's great. There's bits in that like where they're in his lair and he's just flipping things, and I'm like, if you think logically, what is he doing? Makes no sense, but he does it with such conviction, it's brilliant.
Yeah. He can turn a light bulb on, he can.
I know, but what I really like about it is it's so plausible that they could turn things around because he's really clever and he's willing to do it. And you would just imagine John Voight, it'd never enter his mind that these people exist outside of what I want them to be doing.
Because we find out, this is where John Voight finds out who he is, like, and he kind of laughs and goes, I would be an NSA agent, wouldn't he? Like, a former NSA agent.
And and I know this will sound stupid, but this to me is just old school Hollywood, why you watch Hollywood movies. So it's the bit where they bug the senator's room and they see his fucking assistant giving him a blowy, and it cuts to the cat going and I'm like, that is pure Hollywood.
But I love what Gene Hackman says to Will Smith as well. I don't think you're old enough to see what happens. What happens next.
But I remember and I was like, when I was younger, I'm rolling my eyes, but I'm like, that's funny. I like the cat being like, I'm not. That's good stuff. And then they have that great scene where the guy who's like, isn't he Bulldog Fraser? He's like the Navy general. And he's real pissed off, and he's reading them the right, like, why is this in the senator's room?
Oh, that's
I want this on my desk. I want this. Again, just a known guy who's in it for one scene and bringing his fucking A game. And you're like, whoever he is, you're like, Jesus, this guy.
That's when they start panicking. John Boyd.
Yeah, you're in fucking trouble here, bucko. Like, yeah. And then we're basically into Endgame.
Yeah.
Because Gene Hackman calls him up and says,
Well, I'll meet you here.
Yeah.
But that, again, this is where the script is very clever. And probably more clever than it has to be. But not in a bad way. Not in a... It's just really intelligent, right. So it's not just we're going to show up and I'm wired. It's they'll check me for a wire. So I'll wait. I'll give you the signal by chewing gum. You turn it on after they've checked me. That way we're fine. We
however plausible that is, but like you buy it in the film, like
100%. I'm not because, like I said, I'm a big logic guy, but it doesn't have to be real world logic. If the logic of the film works, that's I'm happy with that. 100%.
Yeah. Now.
He's great here as well, Gene Hackman.
Yeah. There's a little detail that I really like where Gene Hackman goes to John Voight, who'd be shitting bricks, like, but Gene, like, meet me there at 3:00. I'll be there at 4. And you're like, whether he's just doing it so he's some measure of control, or he's like, I can't get away before 3. You're just like, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's what that guy would do. He wouldn't be
and it's never made clear what time he actually arrives at.
Yeah, no fucking clue then. Yeah. But then this all sets up, and I thought that was a weird detail that Will Smith isn't sure if he's setting him up or not at the start, because I was like, well, that's obviously not what's going to go on. And it doesn't really go anywhere, but it does give the scene a bit of an extra kind of a charge.
But see, when I watched that, it wasn't that I was thinking that he was getting set up. It was, I saw Gene Hackman was really loved Rachel Banks and wanted the answers.
Yeah, that's what I saw, but they play it like Will Smith's like, what's he doing? Is he selling me out? And I'm like, do we need this? But like, it didn't like ruin it or anything.
No.
Yeah. But then, this is what I mean when I was rewatching it, like when I rewatched it.
Quick 4 minutes as well.
Yeah, when I watched it again for this, I watched it twice. The first time I just was going along with it, and then when I rewatched it, I was like, Jesus, only like 10 minutes left. Fuck me. But you never notice this when you're actually watching
this film is over 2 hours long, and it never feels like that.
No, it never
whatsoever.
Drags.
It's fucking. This is like peak 90s.
No, it's real like craftsmanship. This film. Now, something. I don't know exactly how I feel about the ending for it, because I think it's logical. I think it's a really cool visual thing.
I like the plan. I like the way, because I do kind of like that where it's kind of like a fake out where they wanted to get caught. Like, do you know what I mean?
I like the logic of how Will Smith sets it up, and it's cool. Like, there's nothing in it. The problem is though, Tony Scott did the same ending in True Romance, and that's way better.
100%. And I'm sorry, I would have much, as an audience member, I would have much rather see John Voight get dragged into the back of a fucking car.
Oh, really?
And brought up on fucking...
fair enough, yeah.
Because that's why he cares about... Because people like that. They don't fear death. They fear their reputation being tarnished.
True, yeah.
And I think that would have been such a... And again, it's just... I don't know, because it comes out of nowhere, because even it's an action film, alright, but it's not that type of an action film where a big massive shootout, they all go out like G's. Like.
There's something not quite right with it. There's something that does, as much as I'm like, I can't, if you ask me like
and
really what's wrong with it.
And the thing is, we know fucking Tom Sizemore's a greasy bastard, like, and he's just
and the way it's set up, like there's never a contrivance. Like
I don't think you see enough of his criminality to justify. Well, hang on, like, what's going on? Like, if we had seen him, if the videotape had shown him murdering somebody, or but he's only fucking scamming the unions, like, do you know what I mean?
Well, there is a weird bit at the start where he goes, "I want to know made the tape, but I want to know in a week." And I was like, Jesus, giving him an awful lot of time there. That's a bit odd. But I love the way it's so plot, because everyone's so amped up and aggro and like.
You're right. Actually,
ego.
now this is because what's the thing about Tom Sizemore and Saving Private Ryan was basically told by Spielberg,
Was that
you
just
stay
him?
sober. Was that just him at the time? Like?
Possibly, yeah. Jeez, he looked brilliant but wretched at the same time.
Yeah.
But I love it. Everyone's so egotistical. Like, that's why they get confused. He made the tape, and you're like, that's close enough to what John Voight might expect to hear. He's not going to question it. And he's like, you sold him the tape, and he's like, he wants it back. And no one's just saying, but it's very plausible.
And it's just again, this is probably, now that I'm speaking about it, this is a contrivance so much is that the only one who's not injured whatsoever is fucking Will Smith.
Yeah, just jumps. You don't even really, because it's just
you don't see him jump on the table.
No, it's true. Yeah, he just shows up at the end. I kind of go back and forth in it, because I'm like, I kind of half like it because it's well done, but I'm like, he is just, and not in a good way. He's kind of just retreading what he did in True Romance. But I can't kind of help but like it all the same. When I
rewatched it today, because I watched it last Thursday after the podcast last week actually, and I watched it today. And it is, if you take that, there's something cool about just an all-out we're all standing there and nobody's fucking leaving.
Yeah.
There's something that's
Guns
so
blazing,
cinematic and so cool about that. So that in isolation is no notes, and it looks great. That John Voight giving it the whole.
It's the way I want to go.
I'm telling you,
That'd be one way to do it.
Yeah. But that's the truth of it, because you do go like, oh yeah, like men especially. I'm sure women don't sit there going.
Well, you know what? Actually, funny you mentioned the macho thing. How Gene Hackman gets the two boys still in the van to go in. He just basically,
you gotta get in there.
What are you doing? Get in there. And Lauren Dean, he even goes like, oh, fuck it, just leave him. And he's so like, oh shit, I suppose I should get in. That's very plausible.
But the thing is, if Gene Hackman hadn't sent them in, the film doesn't end that way.
No, well, it is a contrivance now of why the guy shoots Jake Busey in the back and all this, but it just doesn't matter. Like, it's just going to happen. Now, you could maybe say it's very convenient. But I'm like, I can't really fault it at the same. It's kind of one of those things like it just doesn't quite
because
work.
The thing is as well, when you first see, I don't know if it's Scott Caan or if it's Busey that, what's his name? Not Gary.
Oh, Jake Busey.
Or if it's Jake Busey coming in.
He has a machine gun and the guy shoots him in the back.
That's true, yeah. But the chef, the guy who shoots him, is crouching in fear. Like, he's not looking like he's about to do something shady here. Like he's packing heat. Like,
part of the act, you know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It is. There's something about it that just doesn't quite fit. But at the same time, like, I can't really be like, it's just.
It just is like, and I mean, I do like how Brill just gets out and walks, and, and he's happy. He's
that's what he wants. There is a great line from Tom Sizemore. I'm like, did he ad-lib that? Where he goes, "The only criminal here is you for felonious cocksucking with an attempt to swallow the evidence." And I'm like, where did that come from? It's a great fucking line, but I'm like, all right, yeah, Jesus.
That's the type of line where you just have to concede. Like,
we're leaving that in.
Yeah.
And then, so I should maybe point out those students I watched it with, they were like, that's stupid. They just thought the end and they didn't have my kind of, it's cool, or, you know, maybe it doesn't quite work. They just thought,
in the film overall, I genuinely don't like it. But as in isolation, I think it's well done. It's well staged. Like.
Doesn't, yeah.
And again, I just love the shot of John Voight.
There is something, the male urge to die in that manner, like
protecting a fucking woman and child or something.
Guns blazing, two machine guns blazing away. And then
standing on a mountain in front of people.
Then, very admirably, the film wraps up pretty quickly. There's like a newspaper headline and all as well, and
that's the thing is, that's all you need, because what can happen now is, I've noticed this. It's like 4 acts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you'll have your first act, middle act, final act. But then there's 15 minutes after that of the tying up loose, and it's like, we don't need any of that. And this is textbook how you should fucking do it. There's a bleeding thing. He's been cleared of everything. All is fine. So that automatically says to me, he's got his job back. Everything is grand. Everything is back to previous.
And the surveillance act was thrown away, never to be brought back ever.
Until and you know what's funny?
Until 3 years later.
3 years later, what's John Voight's birthday in it?
9/11. I noticed that. I was like, even I was like, all right, maybe something's
like,
up there.
Because I mean, you're schizophrenic, mate. You fucking connect dots here. Like,
true, yeah.
But you know what I mean? The predictive programming is a real thing. Like,
well, what I found terrifying was, because to me, John Voight's an owl lad, and I was like 1940, but then he was 57 in this, and I'm like, oh god, creeping up on there myself. Like, Jesus,
I would put money on it that you're not going to look as bad as John Voight does. And nowadays, he's still kicking. Yeah, he's pushing. I think he's actually born a little later than 40.
No, but he
was. Look, to bring up Ray Donovan again, he's in Ray Donovan. He's one of the best fucking performances. Yeah, he's his father. And it's fucking such a good performance for the whole entire time. But he was so old that 10 years ago when I was watching that, I was worried that he wouldn't make it to the end of it. Like,
he's in that Megalopolis, the Francis Ford Coppola, and he's ancient. Well, what's funny about him is how well this role suits him. You'd swear he was born to play these arseholes in suits. And what was his, now I'm not saying it was his first ever thing, but Midnight Cowboy, where he plays this fucking gay hustler in a fucking like a beige jacket. Like,
but even his characters earlier on, like in Deliverance and stuff, like, you know what I mean? It's very different. That was a real fucking American everyman. Like,
that was a real suburban everyman.
Yeah.
No, that was after Midnight Cowboy. Yeah. I actually, maybe someone will comment, I don't know if he's actually gay in Midnight Cowboy. He might be just gay for pay and that. I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Midnight Cowboy in donkey years.
It's very. I only watched it recently. That year, I watched all the movies, and I was like, this is fucking brilliant. Yeah, it really is as good as its kind of reputation is. Now, the conversation, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, no, I had this conversation, funny enough, with Kieran beforehand.
Yeah.
I struggle massively with Coppola. Mm-hmm. Like, because there's times I'm watching it now. Obviously, Apocalypse Now, Godfather Part 1 and 2, and I don't hate Godfather 3 as much as maybe it should be hated.
me,
But, yeah. But again, it doesn't hold the candle to the first two.
Yeah.
But I get them immediately. First watch, I know what's going on. But there's some things in some of Coppola's stuff, and I'm like, I can't even begin to make an inference of what you're trying to tell me now. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of fucking long, silent fucking. Like even the opening scene that's kind of similar to this, of when they're actually getting the recording of the conversation. It's so fucking long, and I'm like, okay, so what is he trying to get at here, or is he just showing me how cool he can move the camera?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Things like that.
My issue with the conversation is specific to it, I have to say, which is because I got the DVD with all, and like I'd heard about it for a year, and I watched it like 20 years ago or something. It was like, oh, it's actually like a little better than The Godfather, and it was his actual whatever about it.
It was nominated for an Oscar, lost to Godfather 2.
But like this
Wasn't
was
I think so.
Like
Yeah.
This was it was a genuine passion project to him. He was like, they paid me to do The Godfathers. I want to make the conversation. And I didn't really like it. And then I watched the stuff on the DVD and I was like, this is why I don't like it. Everyone's like, Caul is the name of the fluid you're wrapped in your mother's belly. He wears a transparent coat like the fetus in the belly. This represents this. And I was like, oh, it's so over fucking thought. And
that's
like,
what I mean. Because I didn't fully get it. Like, and I was like, and then when I rewatched it, I kind of went, okay, right, I kind of can see some shit.
I should probably rewatch it now. It has been like 20 years or something.
On second watch, first time I watched, I was like, I genuinely, I was like, this is fucking near unwatchable for me. Like, it's just not my style. Like, do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But then I rewatched that and I was like, okay, right, I can see why it has 94% on.
Well, there is a bit. Okay, I must rewatch it, but I do remember the big thing of it where it's like, he'd kill us if he had the chance. He'd kill us if we had the chance. And I remember on the commentary, Coppola was like, yeah, I think, oh God, what's his fucking name? The really famous sound mixer guy who's also a famous editor. Walter Murch, yeah. He goes, he may have done something with the recording. I'm like, no, he didn't. That's another take. He said it differently. You fuck off with your fucking, he manipulated it, you bollocks. Like, but it's fine, like it works in the film, but I'm like, don't tell me it was Walter Murch twiddling a fucking knob. You got the actor to say it twice. You come on. Love like, I love Francis Ford Coppola.
Because I mean, one thing I do like about the conversation is, and anybody who's thinking of watching it based on this, don't expect anything like this. It's a lot of talking and a lot of long scenes.
There's great stuff in it, even
at the end of it, because he obviously, the whole point is he thinks he's being listened to by Harrison Ford. This is pre-Star Wars.
Pre-Star Wars,
yeah. So nobody at this stage would have known who
he's
Harrison
good
Ford
as
was.
well.
He is. He's something very chilling about him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do like the kind of twist, which I won't give away just in case, because we're not talking about that film specifically. But it is quite. I didn't hate it, because twists sometimes can make you go whatever. But because I mean, but there's a real sense that there's a lot of is he a reliable narrator? Harry Caul, like, do you know what I mean? And it's never, at times you're like, oh, is he or isn't he? Whereas I don't think, and maybe that's the point. You're meant to, because even at the end, which isn't giving too much away, but he destroys his apartment because he thinks someone's listening.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on, it was anything that we've just seen even fucking real, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know, it's one of those I probably should rewatch as like an older man and be like, I might watch it now and be like, oh my God, I'm not you is better than The Godfather Part 2, which I sincerely doubt. God, I love the fucking Godfather Part 2. But I probably should, I do remember not liking it, and over the years, my memory of it not making it seem like something I would reappraise.
I didn't know about the whole fan theory that, but hang on, before I get into that, is Brill Harry Caul?
No, I like the fact that it's just riffing off of, hey, isn't it cool that we cast this guy and we're updating the thing. I don't see enough of a connection, because he is so different.
He is so different, but I mean, the way I look at that is 20 years in a hole do that to a man. Like. But the thing is, because it's just a bit more than an homage for me when it's the fucking photo of him from the film is the one the NSA have on foil. It's from the conversation. Like,
I can kind of, it does, for me, it wouldn't improve the film, and I kind of come from the background of, like, you know, a Tarantino apologist. Oh, it's an homage, and I'm like, if it's an homage done well, then that works for me. So that's kind of where I come at it from. But it is, you know, Tony Scott or whoever couldn't really say it's, oh, I don't know what you're talking about either, you know, because he was cast because he was in the because he's amazing, Gene Hackman, but he was also cast because he was in the conversation, and it kind of informs it a bit, which I like. So for me, I'd read it as more of a homage, but someone tell me how to actually pronounce that word.
Homage?
Yeah, homage. Yeah. Homage Frey.
Robert Lockyer. Non-submersible units. Now,
Yeah.
I texted you last night and you didn't text me back.
Fuck,
What?
I actually had it planned out what I would say as well.
Okay,
Shit.
so I want you to say it. And say it real spiffy because we'll make a clip out
bollocks.
of it.
So, a non-submersible unit, well, it's adapted from a Stanley Kubrick idea. He said you just need 7 non-submersible units to make a film. It doesn't necessarily need to float. The way we use it is generally to say the things that make a film live in the consciousness. So things that don't submerge over time, like things that when you think of the film, you go, oh, that has that in it. Or that's good because of that, or I remember it because of that. So to take an example of this film, I would say Gene Hackman. He is when I think of this film, I think of him, even though he's in it for like less than half of it.
He might be in it for fucking 35, 40 minutes. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, and he got top billing
of course.
with Will Smith, and he earns every set. Apparently, according to IMDb, Will Smith took a pay cut to work with him, and I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's fucking brilliant. You just miss him terribly. Like,
Great stuff. Because I mean, even because Gene Hackman was one of them that, even though he's only recently passed, he hasn't acted in fucking 20 years. Like, do you know
but
what I
he
mean?
still feels like
That's
he's
what I mean.
there,
That's why it's easy to. We were mourning Gene Hackman while he was alive. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of thing.
True, yeah, he did just retire.
disappeared, like, just gone.
I think he did initially just retire. He obviously had, I think, dementia in the later years, which is real fucking. Jeez, we won't go into it, but he's just amazing.
Yeah, I'd echo it. Yeah, because I'm trying to think, is there anything better?
No, I do remember when I think of it. I think of the shootout at the end, even though it's not necessarily an entirely
It's
positive
memorable,
way.
but the thing is, like, I'll rewatch this again in a couple of years, and I'll have forgotten that the big shootout happens, and I'll re-traumatize myself and go, Jesus, that's such a bad ending. Like,
Yeah, I would look. I'd have to really sit down and like fucking analyze the film to say why it doesn't necessarily work. It doesn't.
I just think, that given the character of John Voight, he has to be dragged along the coals in public.
That's fair, yeah.
It's like Cersei having to walk through the thing naked.
I have to give him credit though. It never seemed contrived to me that he'd go in because the way he goes,
but he
just
gets
like,
gangster all of a sudden. Yeah, give me a piece.
Well, he is like, he's just at the end of his fucking tether with this shit, like, and you're like, oh yeah, good. They've invaded his home. He's sick of these guys. And I'm like, yeah, it seems. It doesn't seem, and that's craftsmanship right there, craftspersonship.
Right.
I give it a 4.
I go 4 as well.
Yeah,
this would be touching 5 if there wasn't there's aspects of it.
I wouldn't quite go, but it's just such solid, intelligent entertainment. Yeah, and now maybe I wouldn't be saying that if in my opinion, mainstream entertainment hadn't kind of fallen off a bit. But I mean, it is.
This was like the last of the Mohicans.
It's for adults. This film, I would say, as much as I enjoyed it when I was 15 or whatever. But like, I consider it an intelligent kind of a film. It doesn't necessarily have very deep things to say, but it doesn't treat you like a fucking idiot either.
Yeah, but it also, like, whoever you mentioned the screenwriter at the start, but
Marconi,
like, he was making punts, and he was almost right until
fuck me,
age of the mobile phone, because that changed everything.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But other than that,
I should maybe point out, I just said the film is like, it's intelligent. There's, of course, the bit where they're chasing Jason Lee and he bursts into a Chinese restaurant. They open the door. This reminded me of Michael Bay. He doesn't just go into the Chinese restaurant. There's a guy with like a wok that's on fire. The fucking flames are like 5 foot high. Which are like, that's more exciting than him just running into a fucking Chinese restaurant. But he knew how to put on a show, old Tony Scott, who was very missed as well.
Yeah, 2012 I saw.
Yeah, jeez, I remember being shocked when I heard that. I remember like, oh, Jesus.
Because he's younger than Ridley, is he?
I think he was, yeah. I think he was. And Ridley Scott is
well on
in
now,
his late 80s, I want to say. He's still turning him out, yeah. Fair play.
Yeah, he's working on something now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's forever fucking working, yeah. Fair do. He just seems to have it figured out now. Where I still think I haven't seen Gladiator 2.
I haven't seen a good Ridley Scott film down in a while. Like,
I think that's fair, yeah.
What was the one with was Ben Affleck in it and Matt Damon?
Oh, The Last Duel. That's really good.
I haven't seen it.
Last Duel is brilliant.
Sorry, I have seen it, but I had to leave the cinema about 3/4 of the way through, so or maybe
Oh,
half.
no.
Well, I just had to. It was an emergency. I had to leave. So, and I've never felt. Oh, I have to go and revisit that. Like,
no, I thought it was brilliant when I saw it. I think he made something the same year as House of Gucci. I think it was Last Duel.
That's
and
crap.
I thought House of Gucci was nearly unwatchable. And yeah, it was because Adam Driver's in both of
Jared
them.
Leto. Oh man, I can never tell whether I like him or not. Like,
He tries so hard.
I like exactly, but he's almost like Johnny Depp in the sense that he tries to get these type of weird fucking out there characters so much so that every character becomes the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
And it's just like, come on, man. Like,
hey,
he's fucking diabolically bad in House of Gucci.
I didn't actually get far enough. I saw like the first 10 minutes. I was like, I'm not watching this
The
shit.
fucking accents.
But
like, why
he
can't you do like when the fucking Brits are making a film about Germany and they just all have proper British accents? Like, just.
Well, I always think just do the Schindler's List thing. Give everyone a very mild whatever accent and then just leave it at that. Having said that, Ralph Fiennes, who's brilliant in it, he does a slightly thicker, but like Liam Neeson just does the slightest German accent. And you're like, that's it. Fucking leave it at that. On that bombshell.
We bid you adieu for another week.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, let us know what you think of Enemy of the State.
Farewell.
Let us know what you think of the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Get on us on Insta, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
Please.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
All right? Come on. Peace out.